Okay, our lesson is all about light. Now, what is light? Where does it come from? Okay, light is a wave, or rather acts like a wave. How do we know if there is light? Always remember that there is reflection, refraction, dispersion, diffraction, interference, and polarization. Okay? Ito po yung halimbawa ng reflection. Okay? Reflection po to. Nag-reflect po ang lights mula po dito doon sa mirror and then bounce back. So, reflection ang tawag po niyan. And then, yung refraction naman ay ito yung bounce back ng light, nag-reflect, pero mayroong absorption na light na na-absorb sa mismong surface na to. So, ang tawag po natin dito ay refraction. Pag sinabi namang dispersion, yung white light mismo ay dumaan sa glass prism. Ito yung glass prism class. Tapos, nung dumaan, nag-disperse. Ibig sabihin, makikita yung itsura ng white light mismo. So, ibig sabihin na nadadissect yung light, kung anong itsura, kung anong kulay. So, yun po ang dispersion. Ito po. Okay? Ito naman po ang diffraction. Ang diffraction class, ito yung once the light will pass dito sa maliit na butas, and then yung light po magdi-diffract. Okay? Madalas to nangyayari pag ikaw ay nasa ilalim ng kuweba or cave. Okay? Pag may maliit na butas, tapos may liwanag, nagdi-diffract po yung liwanag na nanggagaling sa labas. And then, ito naman po yung interference. Okay? Ito po yung interference. Ito yung surface. Ito yung mga different light. Okay? Different light po to. Different light. So, different reflection. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng uri ng light nag-i-interfere. Kaya minsan, class, hindi natin nakikita yung isang object. Okay? Nag-i-interfere. Yung interference of light. Then, ito naman yung polarization. Okay? Kung titignan po natin, yung light beam and polarized light, so magiging polarized light siya pag ito ay lagyan ng polarizer. Okay? Okay, light is a special type of wave. Tandaan po natin yan. What we know as light or visible light, which means to say the light or visible, iisa lang po yan. Pag sinabing visible, ito yung mga nakikitang light, is actually a type of something that is called electromagnetic radiation. So, ibig sabihin yung liwanag glass, meron po siyang electromagnetic radiation. So, what is electromagnetic radiation and what is electromagnetic waves? An electromagnetic waves, when something creates energy, it also emits radiation, depending on the amount of energy, and then the object will emit different types of electromagnetic radiation. Okay? When we studied, or when you studied mechanical waves in the past lesson or the past week, they were all transferred through a medium. Ibig sabihin, kadalasan sa mga mechanical waves, pwedeng i-transfer sa medium. But what medium is light transferred through? So, light does not need anyone. Ibig sabihin, hindi po kailangan ng medium para makapag-transfer yung mismong light. And electromagnetic waves are special in the fact that they do not need a medium to propagate through. Ibig sabihin, hindi na po kailangan ng medium or object para yung electromagnetic waves na meron sa light ay makapag-transfer. Okay, but what is creating the disturbance and what is emitting this energy? Ito po yung electrons. Then electrons in a material are vibrated and emit energy in the form of photons. Ibig sabihin, yung electrons Pag nag-vibrate, and will emit energy, which is the photons, which propagate across the universe. So photons class have no mass, but a pure energy. So electromagnetic waves are waves that are made up of these photons. In short, the electromagnetic waves are made of small particles na tinatawag nating photons. So when these photons come in contact with boundaries, the electromagnetic waves interact like other waves would. Okay? And then electromagnetic waves are seen, or we can also experience this everywhere. Bakit? Kasi sa bahay may mga uri ng ilaw o liwanag. Merong cellphone, may TV, may sun sa labas, or any forms of light. They emits electromagnetic waves. That is why everywhere o kahit saan makikita or mararamdaman po natin ang electromagnetic waves. And then light is only a small part of them. Okay? Then the best example is the radios, TVs, microwaves, light, radiation, lasers, CD and DVD players, and X-rays. So these are only few examples na napuproduce ng electromagnetic waves. Actually, there are many or there are a lot of objects that produce electromagnetic waves. Basta ay nagpuproduce na ng ilaw. Once na nag-produce ng ilaw, ibig sabihin may electromagnetic wave na ini-emit o pinoproduce. Okay, visible light. We now know what we see is part of electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, we know that the light waves enter our eye and stimulate parts of it that cause electrical impulse to be sent through the brain, which creates this visual image. Take note, class, that when we perceive light to our eyes, automatically it will stimulate or it will create the electrical impulse sa ating brain. But bago siya mag-create ng electrical impulse, magre-reflect muna yung light sa ating mata because our eyes are made of lenses. Okay? Pag nag-create na po o pag nakapag-reflect na po ang eyes ng light, doon sa ating mata, class, ay magre-reflect siya, tapos mag-create ng impulse, and then pupunta siya sa nerve ng ating mata, and then yung nerve will automatically send a signal to our brain, at yun ang brain ang magsasabi na nakikita natin yung isang bagay. So, but everything does not emit radiation. So how do we see those things, and why can't we see a window? Okay, seeing things, class, we know that when waves run into a boundary, they are partially transmitted and partially reflected. So there is a tendency, class, that when we see object behind the mirror or behind the window, class, hindi po natin makikita yung buong detalye ng object because there are part of the light na partially transmitted at yung iba na partially reflected lamang. Okay? Light behaves as wave. Tandaan po natin yun na. So it too is reflected. So it is too reflected. And then therefore, an object does not need to emit photons itself to be seen. It just has to reflect light back to our eyes where we can detect it. And then objects that do not allow light to pass through is called opaque. Okay? Pag ang object naman o pag ang light naman ay allow naman siyang pwedeng makalusot, ang tawag po transparent. Pag ang object naman ay in between, ibig sabihin hindi makikita or parang partially lang nakikita, in between siya, para siyang tinatawag nating translucent or semi-transparent. Ito po yung object, class. Okay? Ang transparent, for example, yung window, makikita natin kung anong itsura ng dahon na meron sa labas kasi transparent po yung salamin. Ibig sabihin, nakakalusot po yung light. Pag translucent, para siyang semi-transparent na kung saan ay partially o partial ng light ay pumasok at partial ng light ay nag-reflected. Kaya ganito pong itsura, medyo hindi natin maaninagan. Pero pag opaque naman, class, pag opaque, pag, pag ang light ay nandito, parang tinapat natin dito sa bag, hindi natin makikita yung object na nasa likod kasi makapal po yung ang object na ito. So, tandaan po natin klasa, ito po yung opaque, translucent, and transparent. Okay, color. In light, there is color. So different objects may emit different wavelengths of electromagnetic waves. So we would see that the light is different colors. But why do we see colors in objects that reflect light? If you shine a white light on my clothes and it's reflected, why doesn't all my clothes appear white? So when I shine white light through a colored piece of plastic, why does it change color? Okay, ganito po yun. So the light we see is known as visible or white light, although this is not that simple because the light is not really white. Okay, it's not really white. The white we see is a combinations of all the colors of the rainbow, which is the Roy G. Beeve. Ibig sabihin, yung light or yung visible light, combination siya ng colors ng red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So when all of these light waves are combined, we can see the white light. Lahat ng mga nakikita nating puting liwanag, they have a composition of the red, yellow, or the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet na colors. Okay, in color reflection class, so if we see something as white, that means it reflected back all the wavelengths of the light to our eyes. But if we see something as red or blue, okay, it reflected only the red or only the blue wavelengths. So the others were absorbed. So bakit may wavelengths? Tandaan po natin class, may wave po ang light. Ibig sabihin, meron din po siyang wavelength from crest to crest, from trough to trough. Okay? Pansinin po natin yung sound wave, light wave, may mga wavelength din po yan. So the others were also absorbed. So, and if we see something as black, it did not reflect back any of the light. Okay? Let's move now to color transmissions. It filters work in a similar way, so when red filters, only let red light through. Blue, let only blue light through. Okay, what do you think that UV sticker means on your sunglass? Okay, ibig sabihin, it protects the transmissions of the UV or it protects your eyes from the UV rays na dumiretso sa iyong mata. Yun yung purpose ng UV stickers. And then why do they sell those orange glasses that are supposed to reduce glare? Ibig sabihin, ang kulay na yellow glass, pwede pong, yellow, sorry, it's an orange, pwede pong mag-reflect back yung color ng nanggagaling sa light. So, ibig sabihin, may tendency na ang orange ay pwedeng mag-reflect lahat ng kulay o lahat ng liwanag. Okay? Kaya di ba minsan class, pag tayo ay nasuot ng mga matitingkad na kulay like orange, light orange, o dark orange man yan, nagre-reflect po yung light mismo. Okay, lights, meron siyang properties of light, reflection, colors, and refraction. Okay, and properties of sounds and hearing. Okay, properties of light class travels in a straight line. Okay, and then light travel very fast, around 300,000 kilometers per second. At this speed, it can go around the world 80 times in 1 second. Okay, light travels much faster than sound. Tama po yan. For example, thunder and lightning start at the same time, but we will see the lightning first than the thunder. Number 2, when the starting pistol is fired, we see the smoke first, and then we hear the sound bang. Okay? And then we see things because they reflect light into our eyes, just like this. Okay? Light from the sun reflected on the object and reflected to our eyes. Ganun po natin nakikita yung isang bagay. Okay? Luminous and non-luminous objects. A luminous object is one that produces light. Okay? Best example nito, pwede pong sun. Okay, pwede po yung mga flashlight kasi they can produce light. Candle, fluorescent, they can produce light. So, another is a non-luminous object is one that reflects light. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga objects na kung saan na nagre-reflect ang light. Best example is mirror. Okay? And then, shadows are places where light is black. So, rays of light strike on the tree and then it reflects the shadow. Properties of light summary. Light travels in straight lines. Light travels much faster than sound. We see things because they reflect light into our eyes. And shadows are formed when light is blocked by an object. Okay? Reflection from a mirror. Okay? For example, ito po ay mirror. Okay? And then, yung pong normal. And then, ito po yung reflected lights coming sa mga object na nagpo-produce ng light. Ang tawag po natin yan ay incident ray. Pag nag-reflected back is reflected ray. Ang tawag sa angle is angle of incidence. And this one is angle of reflection. And then the law of reflection is angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Lagi po nating tatandaan yan. Na pareho lang po. Yung angle of incidence at angle of reflection ay pareho lang. Okay? Clear versus diffuse reflection. In a smooth, shiny surfaces have clear reflection. So, ganito po yung reflection niya, class, pag nagre-reflect yung liwanag sa makinis at shiny na bagay. Okay, yan. Straight lang po yung reflection niya. Parang yung incident ray reflect back to the environment. Whereas kung ang surface ay rough or dull, magde-diffuse. Ibig sabihin mag-scattered yung liwanag. Okay, parang ganyan. Ganyan ha. Ganyan. And then there are two examples of using mirrors. Okay? Ang tawag po sa ganito ay periscope. Ang tawag naman sa ganito ay car headlight. So, ibig sabihin concave po ang ginamit or concave po ang ginagamit pag headlight para ang light po pag nag-bounce back ay straight lang po siya. And then color, when light is not a single color, it is made up of mixture of the 7 colors of the rainbow. Yan. And then the colors of the rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Yan po. Ito po yung white light. Pag i-dissect natin ng white light, ito po yung color mismo ng buong white light. Okay, let's move to adding colors. White light can be split up to make separate colors. So these colors can be added together again. So the primary colors of the light are red, blue, and green. Okay, once we mix the blue and the red, you will have the purple. Okay, and once you mix the color blue and light green, you will have the light blue. And once you mix the color red and the light green, you will have yellow. But when you mix the secondary color like the purple, the light blue, and the yellow, you will have a white again, or the white light. Okay, seeing colors, the color an object appears depends on the colors of light it reflects. For example, a red book only reflects red light. Tandaan po natin yan ha. Okay. A pair of purple trousers would reflect purple light, and red and blue as purple is made up of red and blue. O yan lang po ang magre-reflect na kulay pag purple ang color. Pag white hat naman, white hat, ang magre-reflect po lahat. And then using colored light. If we look at the color object in colored light, we see something different. For example, consider a football kit. O yan. White light. So, nag-bounce dun sa red colors, ang red. Dun naman sa baba ay blue. Pag ganyan po ang color. Basta tandaan nyo pag red or blue, yan po ang mga bouncing light na nagre-reflect. Okay. In different colors of light, this kit would look different. O, pag red light pang tumama sa red, okay, red po, pero sa blue, magiging black ang color. Pag ang blue naman na light, tumama naman sa blue, blue ang magre-reflect. Pero pag sa red, it turns into black.